Hello, my friends. I hope everyone is fine, having great positive days. Okay, here we are. This is Goiana Ferreira, and I am the Clean Water and Peace Organization International Director and volunteer. And we are here with this video to say a few words how we will make the second organization documentary. The 28 Royal Volunteer Weeks that we have been talking about quite a lot. So number 1, reports will be done by all properties that do have the 10 department directors. And those are every property that offer food, so residential communities, all for educational sites, business owners, and government sites. The city office will also need to have gardens planted there. Okay, so also all restaurants, all hotels, everyone that offers food in the city. Okay? Every commercial site will gather and have also 10 department directors. Malls for stores will have 2 or 4 different groups of 10 department directors, depending how big they are. And usually they have a lot of space, right? Parking lots that will be transformed in gardens and plant lots of fruits, because people that work there can have fruits and vegetables to eat there. Production areas that have more than 20 staff members on the same period also need to offer food. It can be vegetables and fruit trees and use parking lots. Everyone gonna be using parking lots that we have now and plant those things. And we're not going to have any new malls because they're not needed. And for new ones, we're just gonna, for places that need, we're only going to have commercial plazas anyways. Okay, so that's a few words just for places that will have those 10 department directors for you to have an idea. Okay, so everyone will be sending to their city, that's the most sustainable, not to the county, but to the city. Headquarter assistant teams, all the information, and the city headquarter assistant team will combine all the videos of everyone and make their own, that I will give more information afterwards. But they will add the short videos, right? And make their own long video for that city. So everyone can search up, look for more details of each city. So every 10 department directors, right, team will take pictures before and after, will make short videos of before and after, will have the information records book, their own records book, and also place the information in the Peace app. When they send the information, the Peace app, they will already send the link of the video that they made for that site, that property, commercial plaza or educational site, residential community or hotel or anywhere. They already send a link with a few words of the activity they're making. So I think it's reasonable for everyone during these 28 weeks to have one video per week with the updates from Monday to Friday, mostly Monday and Friday. So we have where we got from and where we are coming to. What was done during that whole week. So the information for the first week of these 28 weeks will be a video, right? A few minutes from Monday and also on Friday. And after that, only every Friday. So every Friday evening, the person in charge will be editing and have that video ready. And everyone needs to fill out the Peace app. Every team, right? Every 10 department directors need to make sure the person in charge, that is the department director of documentary, needs to send that video already edited and ready by Saturday 2 p.m. I think that's really reasonable. Because during the week they already, gather the information and edit what is needed. And in the afternoon, everyone will have time off on Saturday afternoon. So that's really reasonable. Every department director that is in charge of that department, the records, department director of documentation, will do the information, will send the information at the Peace app, right, by Saturday 2 p.m., but also to the headquarters assistant team of that county. Each county gonna have that headquarters. Yeah, so this is an improvement. Instead of city, we are going to do county. On YouTube, we are only going to have the county headquarters assistant teams because I think that's easier, so we won't have too many videos on YouTube, okay? All right, so that's an improvement. Thank you. Okay, so now let's say a few words about the Department Director of Documentation for all these properties that do have the department directors, right? So they are going to edit and send the link of the videos at the Peace app and also to the headquarters assistant teams of the county. So they have to send to these two different places the videos they made, and to be the shortest as possible. The department directors of documentation will make a total of 28 short videos that they need to be really short with the most important. The proper time, I will let you know afterwards for people to have an idea, because right now I can't think, because some properties might have a lot to say, of so many changes they made, and some properties might have almost nothing because they are already very good, such as, for example, for remodeling, they already have brick walls, and some other places, they're very bad, they need a complete redone, a complete remodeling, for example, okay? And of course, for new places, new lands, they are going to have more time because, they're going to be built from nothing. And some commercial plazas, for example, might just need some painting, take the parking lot out. So details for time I will give you afterwards. Yeah, let me just have already an improvement here. Everyone will walk around and do it in a very objective way. I think that's the best because we can't list time for those things. And I think we work like that because we have very good people and they can walk fast and make shortcuts, right? And record what's the most important. They show the big view first and then show, for example, one apartment, how it's being done, inside one apartment, if they are related to residential communities, for example. And if it's for educational site, they also go inside one of the buildings. One week, the other week in another building, and things like that for people to have an idea and show what the most important and what was done the most. For example, a huge new playground and educational site or walls all around. Okay, because if people can focus on having very short videos, I think will work. Okay, all right, instead of talking, walking slowly, so you get that done and then make a pause, and then you go to another building or another playground or whichever it is, and then record that few seconds and get it done, and then record people working and then it done, and people having their break, because that's important, right? Where they eat, where they sit, and get it done, and people building the gardens, so I think that will be really sustainable, instead of, for me, to say proper time, because each place is going to be completely different from one to another. All right? Okay, so that's good. I just count on you that will be really smart and get it done a good time. Okay, so the department directors of documentary from everywhere will be sending the information to the Peace app with the link of that video, and also to the county headquarters assistant teams. Okay, so how they have to do that? To the headquarters assistant teams, I think they're going to be sent maybe WhatsApp, right? I will let you know afterwards, or email, I'm not sure. But at the Peace app, that, just fill out and get it done by Saturday 2 p.m. Why Saturday? Because Saturday morning, for all residential communities, people will be really busy and make some short videos right there, right? So they have to make short videos about the property, remodeling or new buildings, and also about the garden work Saturday morning. So they have 2 hours there to eat, have a little break, and sit, focus, get it done, and send those videos already edited. The videos that the partner director documentary will be making will be like mine. They put the same title for the whole video, right? So the name of the community or the educational site, whichever it is, the date. So we're gonna put from that Monday until Friday, right? If it's an educational site, for example, right? They close. Friday is the last day. But if it's for residential community, that they have garden work Saturday mornings, and they're gonna be until Saturday, and put the date. Okay? All right, so on the top, exactly the same way I'm doing, the title will stay for the whole video. The title also needs to include the name of the residential community or the school, right? Because everyone's going to be Peace, right? But at the end, they will have a specific name, right? Every school will be Peace School, but they have a specific name, right? Also the address with city, county, and country. So everyone looking at any video, they will know exactly where that video came from. Plan ahead, make like 2 different ones. Plan ahead, like if you're going to show images and then talk about, or just take pictures, because that also works, and combine the pictures and talk about them. For me, that I'm using Guru Video here, the best that I think will work for you is to already record, instead of pictures and edit after, is to already record live, because you're going to have background sounds. That's important for us to make sure this really happened on that location. And when you pass someone, you say, hi, how you doing, everyone? How is work? And they send the answer quick, and you stop right there. So you have to make many quick, short stops for you to have these videos in just a very few seconds or minutes. And of course, when the work is done, like for a residential community, educational site, so the work is completed one. So this is the last week, okay? So for example, when the residential community, everything is really done, completed, every garden already built, trees planted, okay, so this is the last week of the implementation of our work. Because after that will be just maintenance. Then you don't need to keep sending reports and fill up space because that won't be needed. You're just gonna keep doing your own thing, but not for the 28 weeks documentary. So for this last week will be the same as all weeks. Date from Monday until Friday or from Monday to Saturday. Okay, and then you're gonna write big. Last week, very large, in large letters. Last week, work completed on this day. Okay? Because work can be completed on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, any day, right? But you're just gonna write big. Last week of the implementation of our work. And we are going to give a template for everyone to do the same, okay? I will do today or another day, but for the reports from Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday, for everyone to follow the same details and have it here, ready to be sent to their headquarters assistant team of the county. Okay, so now let's say a few words about the headquarters assistant team for the county, what they will be doing and how. So they will gather all the videos received from the previous week, right? So from Monday to Friday, that's their work time. They will combine all of them in alphabetical order. The order will be, I'm just going to give a few examples and then we will make the complete list. But for example, for C will be the commercial plazas that include plazas for production because some of them are combined, right? They produce things on the back and sell up front, and some are only selling, so you put that. And then for E comes the educational sites in order: preschools, schools, adult education, university, on this order I just said. Sorry, for C, I also forgot, they're the churches, right? Because they're going to become something else. So a few information, they're going to be just done in 4 days. So for everything, we are going to have the 4 days cleanup, right? And the 28 weeks. We include both things because this is very important also for owners and board members to also record all business that will be cleaned up in 4 days. Okay, and then comes the parks, the 4 parks, also in order: city, county, state, and national parks, okay? And then for R, we have the residential communities. For S, no, we don't have S. For M, we have the malls and everything else. I just gave us some ideas, okay? All right. So the 4 days cleanup will be before the 28 weeks, and everyone also need, to do the same. Put one title all the way on that video. What was the location? What was the site? For example, a church that became a school, what they did, how they did the cleanup. Okay? All right. Okay, so the headquarters assistant team for this documentary, right, for the Department of Documentation, will be combining all this information. And they will do in 2 ways. They will do their complete weekly reports that are the ones with a little more information, right, from all those videos. They're just going to combine them and make one weekly report, okay? And then they will say which week it is. And before that, for the week, it's going to be the 4 days cleanup that they have to do as well, okay? So going to be the title, headquarters assistant team for the Department of Documentary, and the name of the university is doing that for which county it is, state, and country's name. All right? The same title for all the video of everyone. It's gonna take quite many minutes, right? Or a few hours. But it's okay. In case we need, we have it there. Save everything, So the headquarters assistant teams need to save in case we need a little bit more from one or another. Okay, we have it, so we can take it out afterwards and add it to the main documentary. From those weekly reports that they're going to make and have the title of their own name, they're gonna do the number 2 is they will choose the best ones for every 4 weeks. So they're gonna make a video with the best ones of their county, with the best achieved or the best in difference, like a slum that became an agroforestry or were completely rebuilt and done something else, or became a agroforestry for a state park, for example, because some are huge, right? Also for refugee camps that became what they became huge new land or became a huge agroforestry. So those big impacts for us to the most impacts to put at the documentary for that county, and also impact on the people, how many move in, how many move out, because maybe that country was receiving and making many new lands, for example. So what is the most impact for us to have at this documentary? So this 4 weeks report, they have to have it ready every Friday at the end of the day. So let's put 5 p.m. They have to edit and have available on YouTube. Okay? So it's the end of every 4 weeks. So for the 28 weeks will be what? The end of the 4th, the end of the 8th, the end of the 12th, okay? And so on. All right. And also, of course, for the 4 cleanup days, because some will be huge also. Like for business owners that gonna be emptying out everything, right? Such as for people that sells electronic, video games, the whole store gonna be cleaned up. Okay, and then the state headquarters assistant teams gonna be checking all the counties, right? Information from all the counties, and they also have to do their reports in the same way, but only for every 4 weeks. Okay, so they will be working along the days, of course, along the weeks, but they have to edit only, have a edition for this documentary only at the end of the 4 weeks. What's the most important, what was the best made, right? And they're gonna check all the counties, information from all the counties, and make their own. The same way, the end of the 4th week, the end of the 8th week, and so on, 12, 16, okay? All right, they have to edit and post it on YouTube, and the link will be sent at the PSAP. Okay, so the county assistant teams and the state always have to do both, on YouTube and send the link on PSAP with a few words, right? So we are safe. And everything also in paper. So there will be a lot of typing. But let me explain typing now. Starting from the Department Director of Documentation, assistants will be typing, right? Will be typing the whole week. The most important, a very few words is the most important, that of course need to match the video that the Department Director of Documentary is making and editing. Okay, and also, of course, match the records book. Okay, so when they do that, their assistants, the couple assistant, will send them by email their reports made in writing, and they need to print, because the printing version will be given to the city office every 4 weeks, and also for the cleanup. So what's gonna happen is that the city office is gonna have printed in white paper the reports made for the 4 days cleanup for every one of the whole county, right? And also from those for every 4 weeks. I think that's reasonable. So gonna be a 4 weeks written report in paper. Okay. So this paper they're going to give to the city office on the following Monday. I think that's really good. So by the end of the every 4 weeks, they have to have all these things done, completed, and the printed version will be given in person at the city office. At the city office, they have to sign. So the couple that is turning that in, the reports of their property, right? And also the couple that's receiving that report. So they're going to write their names, the date, their signature, and one more information. Their ID number, right? Their country ID number. I think that's the best. The new ID county number. And for business owners that are closing their sites and churches and every place that need to close down, for every negative items as well, production of tobacco, nicotine, marijuana, and all that things, they also have to make the reports, the 2 or 4 days report according to the instructions. They have to close down, farm animal, and so on, and give it to the city office as soon as they are open, also with 4 signatures, the same way, okay? I just said before. Okay, so now we are going to number 2. The number 1 was really long, so I'm just going to repeat the title. The number 1 was reports will be done by all properties that do have the 10 department directors. Okay, so that was from the beginning of the video. So we got 27 minutes with that first part. All right, so now part number 2. Reports will be sent, for every 4 weeks from the property until the headquarters assistant teams from each country. Okay, so let me say a few words. So every property of all types will be sent into the county, right? Headquarters assistant team. And they will be sent into the state headquarters assistant team that will be sent to the country assistant team. And the country, each country assistant team will be sent into the international headquarters assistant team in Florida. That is the team that will be making the documentary. Okay, so that was pretty easy. And they will edit the same way. And by Friday, 5 p.m., they have to complete and choose the best during the weeks. But at the end of the 4 weeks, they have to choose the best and edit with one title for the whole video from which country they are sending. Okay, so we have proper steps for everything already placed at the PISA app, at YouTube for everyone to see, and also for our headquarters, international headquarters assistant team in Florida for everything, for all the areas. Okay, the county headquarters assistant team will be checking as I said before, what's the most relevant, the most important, the most beneficial of their county, because it can be many different things. So instead of focusing in small residential communities, for example, if they have slums or they have like families from the north, the entire city is gonna be become agroforestries, right? So to make the work easier for the state and the country headquarters assistant team. All right, so I'm not going to place time because every reality can vary a lot. So I just count that we are going to have very, very good department directors of documentary, that they will check and do the best in a very reasonable and good timing for each one. It's also very important, as I said, the person can carry a flash card with the information they have to say while they're video recording, to use every second of it. So, for example, total amount of people that came and work, or total, people, adults or children, or, how many new apartments were made. For each reality will be different, but how it was done. So, for example, from refugee camps, that number of families went by boat, by airplane, right? All of them gonna be by airplane. Only for indigenous people, we're gonna use boats. But to have some details written down, so while they're having their cell phone, they already have a little flashcard with some information. It is very, very important to have background and upfront information, sounds, people saying hi, and to make it real for us to know what they're about. So people need to practice, can do one, can do two, and then choose the best one, the best timing. And always include at the beginning a picture of the front of the community. So some of them might not have a sign at front, right? The written words, the name of the residential community or school or whichever. But as soon as they keep taking always that same picture. Okay, so in the beginning might not even have walls yet, might not have a front gate, a front security guard house, right? But with the days, with the weeks, they're gonna have all this. So the picture needs to be the same up front of the property, with always the same measurement, right? And not too much on one side or to another, always that same picture. That can be done close by or a little more far away, but you have to keep in mind, because you need space for the walls as well. So the entrance, because some communities are huge, have these huge buildings that for the front gate, and some don't even have one right now. But you need to be reasonable. You can step a little bit outside, and soon we're not going to have cars anyways. But you can go to the street on a Sunday, for example, while you still have some cars around. Make sure, take the picture quickly and come, okay? And edit that front of the property every week. You have to edit that. Okay, our documentary, I believe it's not going to be more than 8 hours. 8 hours reasonable, and that's what we're going to have. 8 hours established. Okay, what happens is, for some countries, we are not going to have too many changes. For example, some countries in Europe, for example, right? Because the families are not moving, like the north area, the Arctic area. Everyone's gonna move. That's huge. That's very important. Slums, refugees, people without water. So it's a lot of people gonna be moving. Jail is gonna close down. Hospitals. So there are many other information that's more important. Okay, so we are going to have for all those countries that, or area, for example, for the Arctic area, we're just going to talk, about all of them instead of country by country or island by island, because we have some countries, we have some that are islands and so on, some that are peninsula, right? So instead of we are going to the people in Florida, they're going to edit and get all of them and going to do by subject. I think that's what we're going to do in the same way as we did the documentary for Planet Earth, right, for our humanity until the organization launching day. So we will follow that same criteria. And then are not going to be by country anymore, will be by subject. The International Headquarters Assistant Team in Florida will also combine the subjects, right? And they are going to see details for timing for different subjects to be more or less, right, in a reasonable division for each subject, but some they can talk more because they're really huge, like the families that are moving, for example, and the huge impact on how many organic gardens were planted, agroforestry, and the huge tree planting. So the subjects will change a little bit, but but we will follow the 10 departments as was done on the first documentary. And everything will fit in those 10 departments. If really needed, we're going to do in 10 hours, but that Andrew's going to decide about that because it is so special, right? It's so many good things for people to know, to see, and give so much and give value to so much work people that are doing for so long, right? Going to be really beautiful. So we might go to 10 hours, but he's the one going to decide that. Okay, so now comes, so the number 3 was the total amount of video hours that already said some words, and the International Headquarters Assistant Team in Florida will make them edit by subject and include everything in 10 departments. Okay, now I'm going to say a few words about the number 4 of this video, that is testing, okay? Okay, testing for all educational sites. We will start we will start from 2nd grade and on. Because 2nd graders nowadays in many countries, as I said, they know too much about some, right, about negative things. So we have to bring them and focus on good things. All right, just for this 4 first years, we are going to have tests on this documentary for the first 4 years. This way I'm going to tell you right now. So it will be the same as the other documentary. So for elementary, 1 hour documentary, 1 hour test time online. 1 hour for middle school, 2 hours documentary, 2 hours of online testing. All without checking. For everyone is without checking. They really have to learn. High school, 12th grade, will be all grades, right? Sorry. High school, for all grades. 4 hours documentary, 4 hours online test. 2 hours one day, 2 hours the other day. For university, will be 8 hours documentary and 4 hours online test. Okay? From 20 to 80 years old. So, online tests will be done without checking any information, any flashcards, any note. And they will follow the same process. So, first, they watch the documentary according to their age group. Number 2, they make a circle outside and talk about for 1 hour. Number 3, students make presentations in 2 hours. 2 hours presentation, 1 hour one day, 1 hour another day. and is divided in minutes for these 10 departments according to what's most important for their state, their country, right? Their country. Number 3, students will do the presentations in 2 hours. 1 hour one day, 1 hour the other day. Time will be divided for the 10 equally for these 10 departments. And number 4 is the online test that is supervised and without checking. In some regions, the circle talk will also have 2 days, 1 hour one day, 1 hour the day after. Always when I say another day, is the day after, okay? So it's really clear, because some counties, they might have a lot, the children, right, and teens might have, or even adults, some adults don't know how to read yet, okay? We're just going to do adjustments for everything. But let's say some children might know a lot, they live in rural areas, they already know a lot of plants, a lot about their region and things like that, but they don't know anything about all those changes that we are making during these 28 weeks. So this documentary, in reality, will have 11 parts, because the first part will be about the 4 days, the cleanup days, right? That we are going also to gather information from all countries and in place there, right? We need some information about those days as well, because that is already part of the organization work in all countries. And they're testing the same way, just very simple, such as how many places, production places were closed, right, for each of these items, for tobacco, nicotine, marijuana, opioids in general, synthetic pharmacies, right, or laboratories as well, and also how many closed in alcoholic drinks, how many churches were closed, so things like that. Okay, so we're pretty good, and I just have one improvement. For the circle talk, we are going to do in 2 different days, so 1 hour one day and 1 hour the other day, because then we have time to process. The tests for each age group. Okay, I have an improvement for testing. Only 4th graders and above will be doing the test online, because there are many in the whole planet that are not used to computers, so they will have time to do that, okay? And for everyone else from 1st to 3rd grade, will be verbal, will be talking, and they will have a total of 4 hours, okay? 4 hours, so they will be sitting in a circle for 2 hours, 1 hour a day, 1 hour the other week, I think, right? Yes. And then they will also have 2 hours for questions and answers in an informal way. For example, the teacher will ask, how many families, right? Let's focus in families. How many families move from slums to cities? And how many total families got a house, or things like that. We are going to give details afterwards, but simple questions. And for the ones that know, can answer that. Okay? Yes, this is right. And for everyone else, they need 2 hours of circle time for elementary, 4th grade until 8 years old. They have 2 hours. So instead of 1 hour one day, 1 hour the other day, as I said, let's do 1 hour one week and 1 hour the next week. Okay? I think it's more reasonable. Like on the Mondays. Yeah, testing for this documentary will be for 4 years. for 4 years, for every single year, right? And after that, only when the person will be on the age ending on number 4, right? 24, 34, and so on, and ending on the number 8. So the last one they will be doing is 78 years old and not 80 years old, as I said before. Okay? All right. And here's an improvement for the other one as well, right? For our humanity until 2022, the same way. The last one will be when the person is 78 years old. So let me say a few words about how we are going to do this test during the 28 weeks itself. We have to start, right? Because the other one, the other documentary of the humanity, hopefully going to be ready by the organization launching day, okay, or the day after. So, or that week for sure, okay? So we check all details, edit, and have it available in up to 10 days for sure, because we're going to have the international conference, and any addition and improvement for us to check the headquarters, check every detail. So I guess in 4 to 10 days maximum, gonna be ready. But this one is different, right? They're only gonna be ready at the end of the 28 volunteer weeks. So during those 28 weeks, we have to start talking about. It's important for everyone to be learning what's going on, what has been done in different countries, and so on. Okay, so let me tell you how we are going to do that. So the teachers have to see the information they will give to their student according to their age group, right? What's the most important for that age group and appropriate. So we have 28 weeks, right? So we are going to do 4 by 4. So we're going to do, on the first week, we are going to do information about the county. And then on the second week, we are going to do about own state. And then on the third week, we're going to do about own country. And on the fourth week, we are going to talk about internationally, what the numbers are. Okay? And we are trying to have give updates, a few updates, right? Maybe this team in Florida can do that for everyone to be following and then add it on. So how many families already got a house? Basic things like that. So how many trees were already planted? And I think that will be really nice, and the numbers will be adding, okay? So they will be part, and then for the next month, it start all over again, right? So we keep repeating this pattern, and then for what? For the 5th week, 6, 7, 8 weeks, right? The same pattern. Own county, own state, own country, and international news. Okay, and for that we don't need test. The test will be talking information, and will be essays. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Essays will be during the 28 weeks. Will be essays, and children from 1st until 3rd grade will be, if they can already write sentence and make a drawing. Okay, I think that will be great, and of course count it on their grades, because this way they're going to be building up information and be ready for to start the real tests, right, online in 2023 from February on. Okay, all right, so I think we were done. And we explain really well, and testing and about everything. Oh, I have a few words to say for people that are catching up, right? So, for example, for people of all ages that don't know how to write, don't know how to use computer, they can't even put that much information on their head because of bad food, or because they were not, or because of their practice. Some people are home for many years without studying anything. Some people don't even know how to read and write. Okay, so but essays everyone will be able to write. And of course, people that are just learning how to read and write, they're going to write sentences the same way as the elementary school, first grade. That's fine. It's important to do it and see that they're improving. The teacher is going to evaluate and give grade, and they need at least 80%. No, not 80%. 100% of improvement. What that means? That the teacher is seeing that every week they are better than the week before. I think that's the best word. Okay? Yeah, not 100% or 80%, that's not needed. We just have to see that people are having effort to it. Okay? And everyone, I think up to high school, they can do a drawing with it. Because this way they're going to relax and think about and to choose a positive thing. Okay? For example, families get in their home, something they like and need to be harmonious, and it's also a good opportunity for them to practice drawings. And I think the best work of the class, the best essay, or for the little ones, the best sentences, will be placed on the board for all classmates to copy. And they will say, who is that from? I think that's a good idea because we'll promote, students, will motivate students to have a great work, right? So their friends, everyone, all the students are going to have their own work at their own notebook, and also the best of the class. That cannot be always the same child. We need a different child every week, because based on that, everyone will be better each week. So every student can only have their work offered for the whole class to copy once during these 28 weeks. Okay? All right. For teachers that have less than 28 students, then they can repeat soon after everyone already had a turn, or reasonably, right? If it's reasonable. For the ones that are really too bad yet, so you don't do them. You just keep using the other ones. Okay? Yes, that's a bad. So improvement here. Not everyone is to have their work done. Teacher's gonna do the best they can, because that's reasonable. But we don't want students that already, if more than a half of the class is doing really great work, we're not publishing, making everyone copy a bad work. So we're just gonna focus on those that, yes, okay? So let's just focus on those that are really having their best work for the classmates to copy. So will be a very good work and not shared by everyone. Okay, so this is the end of the information. So we got it, and it's really good, and the essays need to be done at the ELA, for example, class. I think that's a good thing because it involves essays and things, right? And you can teachers can jump rope some information, right? Make little games with it. So for the students to memorize, they can do that, play some games or some sandbags, that go and come back, or create a few other games I can tell you more about afterwards. All right, thank you so much for your participation and your interest. And to everyone that will make this documentary possible, ahead I can say my special gratitude, okay? And of course, for those that are going to be printing all this information, so you have all the details available at our website as soon as we have our organization launching day. So talk to you soon. Have a blessed and very productive day. Thank you. The title, I don't know yet how it will be. That's why I wrote two options there. But we have plenty of time to think about that, right? Okay, my friends, thank you so much, and I see you soon. Okay, my friends, for the order of the title of the video, like I said, will be like I'm doing the same title all the way. I've been doing most of the videos I made. So with the same title, the order of the topics for everyone to be the same in all countries, and you're going to decide that and we'll send you. Okay? How will be done? Okay, thank you.